Hello everyone, DM Gashbad here. We're back with another game of Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance. This is the smaller version of the Marvel Zombies game. Even though it uses standees for the bystanders and the zombies, there are less bad guys in this game than in the full game. So I think in any given mission, there's just less stuff to paint for me when I run through this. So this is what we're probably going to be seeing as far as Marvel Zombies goes for a while. But of course, I'm not using standees anyway. In fact, I'm not using the traditional Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance models either. I'm using zombicide zombies for the bad guys, I'm using bystander models from the core game, and because I already had them painted, I'm using Knight Models miniatures from the Marvel Universe miniature game for my heroes. The heroes, as before, are Spider-Man, Hulk, Black Panther, and Vision. And I'm running all these games sort of as a loose campaign. Here are the rules that I'll be following. Long story short, if a character dies, then I can't use it. If a bystander dies, same thing. And if we meet a zombie hero, then that means that character's dead and I can't use the live version. For those that are interested, here's a running list of the living and dead heroes that we've encountered. And we haven't lost any bystanders yet, but here are the ones that we know that are alive so far. And because I want my decks of bystanders and zombie heroes to be at least 50% ones that we've never seen before, I've had to supplement the heroes from the Heroes Resistance game with the zombie heroes from the core box and the X-Men Resistance box. But with all that out of the way, let's go on to the mission. Mission 1, the last one was a tutorial, so this is pretty much the starting point, and it's called Outbreak. Things are looking pretty bad in Marvel, New York. We're going to try and rescue all the civilians we can find. We're going to try and gather up some supplies, which will be the objective counters. And for some reason, we think it would help if we had pepper pots with us. Not really sure what we're thinking there, but whatever. We got to get all the objectives, find pepper pots, and make it to the exit zone in the north. A hero can leave when they're in the exit zone. There are no bad guys in that zone at the end of the round. It doesn't cost an action. Each objective gives the superhero who takes it 5 experience points. There are 4 spots where bystanders spawn. So we take 3 bystander cards, shuffle in Pepper Potts' bystander card, and deal them out on the table. We start in the middle. The Avengers sign is off to the left. We can huck that at bad guys if we want to. And that's it. We're ready to begin. There's this little building to the bottom left. It's kind of interesting. It's just a single room with a bystander and a zombie spawn in the same room. I think I want to go deal with that. It seems nice and contained. I'm going to activate Spider-Man first. He's going to move 1 zone to the left for his first action. Then he's going to open that door for his second action. That opens up that room. We spawn 2 walkers in there, and then the bystander is Sharon Carter. Good old Agent 13. Spider-Man's special ability is that he can spend 1 power and pull a bystander or superhero from an adjacent zone into his zone, so I could use that to pull Sharon Carter over to us, but I think she's gonna be okay. I don't think I need to do that. So instead, I'm just gonna have Spider-Man draw a heroic trait. He gets Courageous, which means that during his turn, he can spend any amount of power and heal that many wounds, which is a pretty good one. So now it's time to rescue Sharon Carter. I'm going to activate Vision. Vision is going to move 1 space to the left, and then he's going to open fire in that room. Rolls his 3 dice looking for 4+, gets 2 of them, kills off the 2 zombies, gets himself 2 XP, and then he moves back to the right. Not really sure why I did that, because I do want him to collect Sharon Carter because he's my only guy with ranged attacks, and Sharon Carter's ability that she gives to people who rescues her affects ranged attacks. But I don't know, I'm sure I had a good reason. So with that lower left building nice and sorted out, I'm going to activate Black Panther. We're going to go see what's over in the lower right. So he moves 1 zone down and opens up the door to the supermarket. There's only 1 spawn zone in there, and we get a walker activation. So nothing happens because there are no walkers left on the board, and we're in the blue zone anyway, so it wouldn't affect us. There's also a bystander. We get Pepper Potts. Hey, just the lady we were looking for. T'Challa moves 1 zone into that building. So last is the Hulk. I figure I'll start off his activation by drawing a heroic trait. He gets Tactical, which is essentially Taunt. He can spend a power, discard the card, and choose a zone within range 2, and all the zombies in there try to move towards my zone. You don't normally think of the Hulk as being super tactical, but there you go. Then he moves 2 zones to join Black Panther. Zombies' turn, and there are no zombies on the board. We go over to the bystanders. Sharon Carter moves into Spider-Man's zone, and Pepper Potts goes to say hi to T'Challa and Bruce Banner. We've got 3 zombie spawn zones on the board. Number 1 is in the left. That card gives us a zombie superhero activation, which is real nice to get early when there are no zombie heroes on the board. The one on the right gives us a 2 brute rush, so 2 brutes spawn and move off to the left. And the spawn zone in the south gives us a brute rush. 1 brute moves up. Back to the heroes, and we all gain another power. I'm going to activate Spider-Man again. I've realized my mistake with Vision. He should have hung out in that zone with Sharon Carter. So I'm going to use Spider-Man's Heroic Rescue. I'm going to say, hey, Vision, where are you going? I'm going to web him, spend my power, bring him into my zone. Then Peter Parker is going to move into that building in the bottom left, grab the objective for 5 XP, and then rejoin everybody out on the street. I'm going to activate Vision next. He's immediately going to rescue Sharon Carter. I believe I forget that when he does that, all his power goes to max. Which is too bad because now that he has Sharon Carter, he can spend power and reroll any misses with his ranged attack. Just sort of Sharon Carter's adding into the salvo with her dual pistols. For his second action, Vision moves 1 space to the right and then opens up with his solar beam into that zone with the 2 brutes on the right. Does pretty well, kills off 1 brute, gets another XP. Activate Black Panther next. He's going to rescue Pepper Potts. Again, I forget to bring him up to full power, but from now on he can spend 1 power to draw 1 heroic trait. After that, he moves on to the street and then attacks the zone with the 1 brute using Hard Slash. I spend a power, and all the enemies in that zone go down 1 toughness, which brings the brute down to 1, and also I get to reroll any misses. With all that, this brute is super dead. Finally, fine, Hulk in charge of getting supplies, moves 1 space to the right, picks up the objective, gets his 5 XP, and then moves back. Back to the bad guys and the 1 brute on the board and moves into Vision's zone. For spawning, we get 2 runners on the left, and then we get a bystander in danger card over on the right. So we draw a bystander card, and we get a Okoye, which is cool, and then all the walkers within 1 zone would activate, but there are none over there. So Okoye is, as you would expect, not in very much danger right now. Finally, the southern spawn zone gives us another brute. Back to the good guys, and so far we're doing pretty well. I'm going to start with Black Panther because that blue ability of his just makes him murder for any of these brutes. He's going to move up 1 zone, he's going to attack the zone with a single brute and Vision in it. Again, spends a power to get his Hard Slash, easily kills off that 1 brute, gets himself another XP, and then takes 1 more move action to the north. Next we're back to Spider-Man, our designated door opener. I'm going to move him 2 zones to link up with Black Panther, and then I'm going to open up the building in the top left. That's going to give us a brute activation. There are brutes on the board, but it doesn't happen if we're still in the blue experience level, which we are. Speaking of brutes, the other zombie spawn point in this building gives us another 2, and then we get Happy Hogan. Happy Hogan shows up in the bystander spawn location. Hulk doesn't really have a lot to do right now, not feeling especially threatened, so he goes and jogs 3 zones to stand where Okoye is going to move in the next turn. Finally, we have Vision. Vision moves up 1 zone to look into the building in the top left, attacks into the room with the 2 brutes, spending an extra 2 power to roll a total of 5 dice, hitting on 4+. I only managed to get 1 hit, but that's okay. I've reserved 1 power for the Sharon Carter reroll. So she adds to the fusillade, and all the dice that we reroll end up with hits, which is more than enough to kill off the 2 brutes. That means that Happy Hogan is safe. Vision spends his last action powering up. Gets 2 more power. Zombie turn and the zombies move. The runners on the left move to the center of the board. The brute in the south goes up 1 zone. Happy Hogan moves to the front of the Heroes for Hire building. Then we're on to the spawn phase. The left spawn zone gives us a zombie hero. Alright, first one of the game. And we draw Sabretooth from the X-Men Resistance box. Sabretooth is not exactly a slouch. He has 4 health, and if he is attacked by someone in his zone but he isn't killed, then he counterattacks and the attacker takes 1 wound. The rest of the spawn zones give us a bunch of walkers. We get 3 walkers on the right and 2 walkers at the bottom. Back to the heroes. Yeah, I got some bad guys closing in, but I do want to open up the last of these buildings in the top right before we go into the yellow experience level. For that, we're going to activate Spider-Man, who's going to continue to go door to door. We've got a zombie spawn and a bystander spawn in the further room. The zombie spawn goes first, and we get a 4-walker rush. So 4 walkers appear and then move towards Spider-Man. It's important to know that the zombies appear first, because if the bystander appears first, then the zombies would just immediately eat them. The bystander, by the way, turns out to be J. Jonah Jameson, bravely hiding in the racks of clothes. Hiya, JJ. Well, Pete can't let his boss get eaten by zombies, so his next action will be to move into the zone with the 4 walkers, then attack, spending an extra 2 power. Spider-Man hits on 4+ with his mighty punches. He manages to kill off 3 of the walkers, which is great. That also pushes him up into the yellow experience level, which gives him an extra attack. Perfect. He goes and spends that action to beat up the last walker. And why not? I've got an eye on efficiency here. He's going to spend a power for heroic rescue, but not Jonah. We're going to move Black Panther a little bit further forward. I want him to get to that objective. Hulk is up next. He's going to rescue Okoye. I think I'm still forgetting to move my power to full. That's okay. Hulk and his new friend move to the left into the zone with the 2 runners. We're then going to use Okoye's special ability, which is we're going to spend 1 power and get a free attack action. We're going to spend 2 power in addition to that. I really want these runners dead. So we're going to roll 5 dice, hitting on 4+. Hulk squishes both of the runners, moves up into the yellow experience level, giving him an extra action. We're about finished with this map. I'm going to move 1 more zone to the north and power up. Everything's going great for us. We're moving towards the exit. Black Panther's going to activate next. He's going to move 1 room to the north. He's going to ignore J. Jonah Jameson. He's going to take the objective. Still not in the yellow experience level, but that's okay. Moves 1 more zone to the south. Black Panther already has a bystander. I'm going to let J. Jonah move into Spider-Man's zone at the end of the round. Pete can rescue his boss. Finally, we're going to go with Vision. Vision moves into the building in the top left. He's going to rescue Happy Hogan, but I'm going to keep Sharon Carter's card. Happy Hogan lets a character spend 1 power to push all enemies in their zone into an adjacent zone. It's nice. I just like Agent 13's card better. Vision then moves 1 more zone to the north, just closing in on that final objective. Zombie turn, Sabretooth and a Brute move to the center of the board. The 3 zombies on the right move up, the 2 zombies in the south move up. J. Jonah Jameson moves down to enter the zone with Spider-Man and Black Panther. For spawns, we get 2 more Brutes to the left, and the right spawn zone gives us another bystander in danger. The bystander in question turns out to be Wong, but Wong chose a poor time to show up on the board, because now all the walkers within range 1 activate, and there are 3 walkers adjacent to him, so they all pile into his zone. Wong is a combat bystander. He gets a 5-up save to prevent getting eaten every time he gets attacked, but 3 attacks? I don't know, buddy. I don't think your martial arts are going to save you from that. The bottom spawn zone gives us 3 runners. Things are getting a little bit busier now that we went into the yellow experience level. And I have a decision to make. It would not be hard for my superheroes to just gather up everything and leave. I can't do it the next round, but certainly the round after. But that would mean that Wong would almost certainly die. But to go rescue him, I gotta go and fight my way through all these converging zombies, including a very undead and angry Sabretooth. So even though the exit is within our sight, we are still superheroes. We gotta go back and get this guy. So new round, everyone goes up a power. I'm gonna start with Vision. Gotta clear out this last objective. He goes off to the left, picks up the objective, that puts him in the yellow experience level, then moves 2 more times to end up in the front room of that building. Okay, now how do I get through these bad guys to go rescue Wong? Well, my best shot is Black Panther. Black Panther moves 2 zones to the middle of the board with that Brute and Sabretooth. He goes and attacks that zone, of course spends a power to get Hard Slash. Sabretooth goes down to 3 toughness, the Brute goes down to 1, and get to reroll all of my attacks. I'm going to spend another 2 power that's going to bring me up to 4 dice, hitting on 3+ with rerolls. Don't even need it. All 4 are hits. 3 hits kills off Sabretooth, 1 hit kills off the Brute. Yeah, as you would expect, that puts Black Panther in the yellow experience level, gets an extra action, moves off to the right. We're coming for you, Wong. Spider-Man's up next and he rescues his boss. Employee of the month right there. Moves 3 zones to get to the same zone as Black Panther, right in front of the zone with Wong, then spends a power to use his heroic rescue. Man, that is a useful skill. Pulls Wong out of the clutches of the zombies and into his zone. That should keep him safe for a little bit. Hulk is up next. Hulk was gonna leave. Instead, he's got to go back and help out his friends. Takes 1 action, moves to the center of the board. I do not like all these runners in the south that are gonna get to me. So I am gonna spend my tactical heroic trait card. Spend my power. I'm gonna choose that zone. It's within 2 zones, so it's fine. They're going to activate and move into Hulk's zone and hopefully get nice and smashed. Spend a regular attack action, roll my 3 dice looking for 4s, only get 1, squishes 1 runner. I then spend a power to use Okoye to get a free combat action. That spear of hers really helps because I kill off the last 2. I then go and draw a heroic trait and I get the ambush card, so a walker shows up in my zone. I do get to draw another card on top of that and I get tactical again. Banner's having a tactical day. And I have 1 more action which I use to stomp that surprised runner into the ground. Well, that went pretty well. I'm feeling pretty confident. The 2 Brutes on the left move towards the central zone. The 3 walkers on the right advance into the party zone with Wong and Spider-Man and Black Panther. The 2 walkers making their way up the southern street move into Hulk's zone, and we go to the spawn phase. The left gives us another zombie heroes. All the zombie heroes coming from the left, all the bystanders and dangers coming from the right. And who do we get? We get bad news. That's who we get. Captain Marvel appears. Captain Marvel's special rule is that when she spawns, she shows up in the closest zone with a bystander, and since Wong's still out on the street, that means she just blasts in towards him. She's coming to eat Wong, we can't have that. Captain Marvel can take a punch though, she's got 4 health, it's going to take some work to get rid of her. The right spawns another 5 walkers, getting kind of crowded over there, and the south gives us a runner activation. Really happy that I used Hulk's tactical mind to get those runners killed in the south. That would have been a big problem if they were still moving around. Back to the good guys, everyone goes up a power, and I'm going to activate Vision first. He's been stuck in that building in the top left for too long. I need to get him out on the street. He moves 1 zone to the right and then zaps the zone in the middle. Spends an extra power to roll 4 dice hitting on 4+, zaps the 2 walkers in there, clearing the way for Hulk. Then he moves south 1 more zone to end up in that same square, turns his solar beam to the left, spends another 2 power to roll a total of 5 dice. Vision is absolutely on fire, kills the 2 brutes to the left, doesn't even need Sharon Carter's reroll. Alright, I'm going to activate Hulk next. Hulk wants to beat up a zombie hero for once. He spends 1 power to use his tactical card again. That thing has come in handier than I expected it. That means Captain Marvel and the 3 walkers in the zone on the right move into Hulk's zone, right into his waiting fists. Hulk then goes and powers up, takes him all the way up to full power, and then those fists come down on the zone. I'm going to spend all 4 of that power to attack. That's 7 dice hitting on 4+. I only end up with 1 hit. Obviously that does not put a dent in Captain Marvel. I'm going to spend my next 2 actions to power up again. Full power again, spends 1 power to attack for free with Okoye. So that's 6 dice coming down, no hits. Oof. Captain Marvel can take a punch. Alright, T'Challa, it's up to you. T'Challa moves 1 zone to the left, getting to the center. He's going to spend his next 2 actions powering up, bringing him up to full power. This is kind of my last best chance. I'm going to attack. I'm going to spend 1 power to do hard slash. Going to spend another 3 power to bring me up to 5 dice. The first roll does not go great, but I do get a reroll because of Black Panther's hard slash. With the reroll, all 5 of them end up hits. That takes away Captain Marvel, who is of course at -1 toughness, and 2 more walkers besides. Coming in clutch there, Black Panther. With most of the problem solved, we're going to activate Spider-Man. Spider-Man is going to rescue Wong. Come here, you dummy. We're going to keep Wong's skill. Wong lets me spend 1 power to reroll any melee misses. Jade Jonah's ability, It's a thing about if enemies spawn within range 2, then I can spend a power to move 1 zone. Yeah, Wong's is better. Anyway, Spider-Man moves 1 zone to the left, punches that last walker zombie to death, moves 1 more zone to the north, and why not, spends another power to yank Vision along with him. Zombie turn, the big crowd of zombies on the right moves 1 zone forward, and then we'll go on to the spawn phase. We get a walker rush on the left, so 4 walkers show up and then move forward 1 zone. On the right, we get another 6 walkers, and in the south, another runner. That's a lot of zombies over there, but guess what? We're not going that direction. We're on our way off the board. I'm going to activate Vision first. I know Spider-Man just yanked him to the north, but he's going to move 1 spot to the south. He's going to attack over to the right with an extra 3 dice. Just continues to roll like a maniac, kills off all 5 zombies, again not needing the reroll from Sharon Carter. You crazy synthezoid, you. That puts him in the orange experience level. I'd tell you what that means, but it really doesn't matter. He's going to take 2 actions to move to the north into the exit zone, and he's going to leave. Mission accomplished. He is quickly joined by Hulk, Spider-Man, and Black Panther. On their turn, all of them move to the north exit zone and leave. Game over, we won. Alright, mission 1, not too hard. Killed off 2 zombie heroes, rescued a bunch of bystanders. Everything's going real well, and I see no reason why it would ever change. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, observations, or concerns, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. I will see you on the next one.